to be here in Nigeria.
The confidence they have for Nigeria and in me also.
We're working towards a peaceful country, a continent.
On this note, and to the glory of Almighty God, I hereby declare the 2024 Organization of Military Sports in Africa General Assembly open.
The 8th General Assembly of the Organization of Military Sport in Africa, which was held from February 24th to March 3rd, 2024 in Abuja, Nigeria, under the high patronage of His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu, aimed at fostering the existing cordial relationship among the various armed forces in Africa. The opening ceremony was presided over by Muhammad Badaru Abubakar, Minister of Defense of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The General Assembly is intended to forge cohesion among member nations for enhanced understanding and good working relationship among others. The objective of the General Assembly is to further cement esprit de corps and further improve the existing cordial relationship among the armed forces of member nations. Came at a time better than now when African armed forces need a close working relationship, more especially in information sharing, training of personnel, and to further defend democratic tendencies among African militaries. On this note, and to the glory of Almighty God, I hereby declare the 2024 Organization of Military Sports in Africa General Assembly open.
Major General Maikano Abdullahi, President of OSMA and Season Vice President Africa, chaired the meeting.
The Chief of Defense Staff, sir, I thank you most sincerely for your support, as well as providing the enabling environment to hold this event and approve all the OSMA and Season programs, either in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. Thank you very much, sir. I wish to use this opportunity also to assure our authorities that the Organization of Military Sport in Africa remains fully committed to uniting the African military through its series of programs and activities across our great continent, Africa. It is very important to mention that this is the first time Nigeria is organizing this General Assembly here in Abuja, with the highest number of participating member countries and more than 35
Chief delegates and delegates from 26 member countries took part in the proceedings. They are South Africa, Algeria, Botswana, Burkina Faso, Cameroon, Republic of Congo, Democratic Republic of Congo, Cote d'Ivoire, Eritrea, Ghana, Guinea Equatorial, Republic of Guinea, Kenya, Libya, Malawi, Mali, Morocco, Mauritania, Nigeria, Uganda, South Sudan, Chad, Tanzania, Tunisia, Zambia, and Zimbabwe. The president of the International Military Sport Council, CISM, Colonel Nitin Raleigh from Brazil, thanked Nigeria political and military authorities for accepting to organize the statutory meeting and praised the spirit of African solidarity that had prevailed throughout the proceedings.
Announced that we are close with African authorities to explore again all opportunities for partnership with the CISM programs, especially with solidarity, development, peace, and sport. This partnership means our commitment to develop the power of sports as a tool for fostering peace, promoting mutual understanding and advancing shared goals of development and security in all Africa continent. We are looking forward to the season's World Summer Games. We are following our strategy to achieve this collaboration. We aim to harness the potential of sports to address common challenges facing our societies, including promoting health and well-being and empowering youth people through sport. And one example was showed by General Maikano about the second African Games. This is a strategy for the African united people in a way that Little West does. Next. So, we provide a considerable change in our community with values, education, and promotion of the health lifestyle among soldiers.
He asked the chief delegates to have a strategic vision for better planning of activities within the continent. This will also require good representation of Africans in CISM's decision-making bodies.
The General Assembly is to serve as an avenue to conduct the OSMA election into various offices to pilot the affairs of the organization in the next 4 years. I want to therefore urge the chiefs of delegations from member nations to cast their vote to the candidate of their choice. Please note that your decisions in this year's General Assembly will determine the future of this great organization. Nevertheless, I'll ask you this question. Why changing a winning team? This question is for all our highly esteemed delegates.
Also, the Chief of Defense Staff, Christopher Agwame Musa, stressed that the 8th General Assembly of OSMA is to ratify the second African Military Games to be hosted by the Armed Forces of Nigeria, which will be used to project the non-kinetic effort to work towards a peaceful continent, and that the Armed Forces are working to ensure that the world is peaceful.
It's a great country. CISM OSMA is here. The delegates are going to have their own meeting today, all to ratify the plans we have ahead. We can see the president of OSMA that is here, the CISM president who is equally here. Later in the year, we're also planning to have all military games to be hosted by Nigeria. It shows that Nigeria in the global is being considered. Nigeria is well respected, Nigeria is well honored. And all the plans we have as military men is also project, this is part of the non-kinetic efforts we're doing, showing that it is not only the kinetic, the non-kinetic aspect of showing the whole and the entire world, Africa and the entire world, is that we're working towards a peaceful country, a continent, a peaceful nation, and that the armed forces all over the world are working to ensure that the world is peaceful.
Hosted by the Armed Forces of Nigeria, which will be used to project the non-kinetic effort to work towards a peaceful continent, and that the armed forces are working to ensure that the world is peaceful. After the opening session in the morning, there was novelty-friendly match at the season headquarters, Nigeria, between the OSMA football team and the Nigerian CDS team.
Oh my God! Is this one a goal? Oh, wonderful defense! Wonderful defense! La balle récupérée. Attention, attention, voilà le gardien.
Ah là là, this keeper go
They could win you. There's even last man here.
Yeah, this keeper go make. Allah. This keeper go make the go win. Kai.
That's number 7 with the ball, the OSMA team. Okay. That's Eric.
Hey, see Amado. Amado does a willow.
Ah, no marking with a red card. Carton rouge.
Attention.
Oh, goalkeeper. Ah, il a raté.
CPS qui ne tarde pas à apparaître. Nous vous demandons de garder votre position et vous allez voir le spectacle.
At the end of the match, the OSMA team defeated the CDSC with 2-1. Next, there was a general meeting where chief delegates and delegates deliberated on issues affecting OSMA. At the meeting, Major General Abdullahi Maikano from Nigeria was unanimously re-elected by all chief delegates and delegates as OSMA President and Season Vice President for Africa for another 4 years term, that is from 2024 to 2028. Brigadier General Brahima Debate from Mali was unanimously re-elected by all chief delegates and delegates as OSMA Treasurer General for another 4-year term.
First and foremost, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to every one of you who has placed your faith in me to continue leading our great organization, OSMA. Your confidence in my leadership is both humbling and inspiring, and I pledge to uphold the trust you have placed in me with unwavering dedication and commitment. Together, all of us here over the past years, we have achieved remarkable success and milestones that have elevated African Community Support Organization to a new height. We have worked tirelessly to promote athleticism, discipline, unity across our country. Today, we are 28 members here that are attending this Congress. When we started, only 16 are attending. But because of the love we have ourselves and the leadership we provide, myself and the BOD members, we are now 26 to 27 countries attending this meeting. I hope the next meeting in Tanzania, we are going to be about 30 to 40 of us. But as we all know, our journey is far from over. We have just started. There are still challenges to overcome. But I'm happy the Sitting President who loves Africa very well, the Secretary General who gives support to all our programs in Africa, we are with you, and I believe you are also with us. We thank you very much for all the support and understanding you have given me for the past 3 years. Let me seize this opportunity to tell you that your support will elevate me to complete this leadership that I'm carrying today. And it is within this unwavering spirit of determination and perseverance that I accept the responsibility of leading OSMA for another years to come. I am committed to introducing new programs aimed at enhancing the overall experience and engagement for our members.
The chief delegate thanked AVM Akers, Nigerian chief delegate, and also his staff for their involvement and commitment to the success of the important statutory meeting. The chief delegates expressed their gratitude and appreciation to General C.G. Musa, Chief of Defense Staff of Nigeria Armed Forces, for his constant support to OSMA activities. The chief delegates expressed their deep gratitude to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for his support towards the organization of the Statutory Assembly. The meeting ends at about 8 p.m. in a convivial and fraternal atmosphere. Next is inspection of African Military Games facilities at the Directorate of Army Physical Training, Giri. Also, a stop at Tourism Nigerian Army Resource Center at Sokoro, Abuja. Followed by Gala Night cultural event at Armed Forces Officers Mess. Then the closing ceremony, where we held the reading and signing of communique
by the OSMA Secretary General, Captain the Frigate
Guinée équatoriale, République de Guinée, Kenya, Libye, Malawi, Mali, Maroc, Mauritanie, Nigeria, Ouganda, Soudan du Sud, Tchad, Tanzanie, Tunisie, Zambie, Zimbabwe. Général de division Michael Abdoulaye, Nigeria, président de l'OSMA et vice-président du CISM pour l'Afrique. Capitaine de frégate Diène de la Pierre, Cameroun, secrétaire général de l'OSMA.
At the closing ceremony, the Nigeria Chief of Defense Staff announced that the Armed Forces of Nigeria have started a sport recovery program for all wounded, injured and sick soldiers to manage post-traumatic stress disorder. General Musa announced this at the closing ceremony of the 8th General Assembly of OSMA and also congratulated the OSMA President, 26 Chief Delegates and Delegates for the success of the 8th Organization of Military Sport in Africa's General Assembly, Abuja 2024.
This event was aimed at fostering the existing cordial relationship among the various armed forces in Africa. Let me first commend the organizers of this event for providing such forum for collaboration and deepening of relationship among the member states. Without doubt, the objective was achieved, and this is premised on the feedback I have received since the commencement of the General Assembly and the activities therein. The General Assembly came at a time when good working relationship between African countries is ultimately required to overcome the enormity of security challenges we face across the continent. The ability and the capacity of OSMA to nurture this desired bond can never be overemphasized. As such, our dear citizens will be the ultimate beneficiaries of this collaboration in all spheres across the continent. It is common knowledge that the armed forces have in the past brought athletic glory to their respective countries through their participation and trophies won in international athletic events. It is the desire of the armed forces of Nigeria under my watch to restore these glorious days by using the platform provided by OSMA and the Council of International Military Sports, SIDM, sporting competition as well as the Olympics. Commonwealth, All African Games, and the Invictus Games, respectively. Since my assumption of office as the Chief of Defense Staff of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, I found sports as one of the veritable tools in our non-kinetic efforts in tackling the multidimensional threats in our dear country. Further to that, I also envisioned that the promotion of sports is a vital medium to enhance unity and cooperation among members of the armed forces, our families, and the general populace, as enshrined in my leadership concept with focus on a people-centric approach. In keeping with the elements of nurturing people-centrism and collaboration in my leadership concept, the Armed Forces of Nigeria have also started a sports recovery program through the Invictus Program Foundation for our wounded, injured, and sick soldiers to manage post-traumatic stress disorder. Based on this, we are gradually observing positive behavioral and mental changes among those involved or influenced through the medium of sports. I am aware that the participating countries in this year's OSMA General Assembly Abuja 2024 had inclusive deliberations and elections that re-elected our own Major General A. Mekano to continue as the OSMA President for another term. I want to say a very big thank you. To this, I want to thank all of you, delegates, and everyone that made this historical feat a reality.
Spy TV News reports that the Supreme Authority of OSMA is a General Assembly in which all member nations are represented. It approves statutory matters and strategic annual operational plans and convenes one every 2 years. The General Assembly elects a board of directors, which is the policy-making body headed by an elected president. The OSMA president, it convenes every 2 years. To ensure better representation of Africans in CISM activities, African countries will be to take part in the CISM General Assembly in Tanzania in May 2024.
Wrestling Championship, Nigeria in 2018, gold medal. African Wrestling Championship, Nigeria, right. William Bekemiye. Of the Nigerian Army. She participated in the Korean Ambassador Taekwondo Championship, Nigeria in 2023, and she won gold medal. A round of applause. Republic of Congo. A representative of the Ambassador of Cameroon, please. May I request the...
In Nigeria. The wonderful culture, it's very impressive. It's very warm, very intensive. It's very intensive, very warm. And I have the best memories here because of all my Nigerian armed force friends. So I'm very trusted and confident in the future of Africa and CISM, because the work that they are doing inside of OSMA, their leadership among all the Africa countries, it's inspiring other countries to follow them. And we are going to have the second African Games here in Nigeria. That it's a very important step forward. Also, Tanzania is doing the CISM General Assembly that we hope that we have a massive presence of the Africa countries. So the leadership from Nigeria lead them to achieve our goals through the sport. So I'm very, very happy to be here. It was a special joy and I learned a lot.
I'm sure you watched the athletes that were honored. Yes. They've won a lot of gold wrestling and other events. So it's a continuous thing. Maybe because of the challenges we've been having, but now that we are succeeding in the challenges ahead, we are back into sports. The military is coming back fully. We're going to bring more sportsmen so that they can also contribute to the building of sports in Nigeria. Which means we are going to prepare. And we're doing a lot to ensure that infrastructurally we're ready, and then the athletes will go into training quickly. And Nigeria is always known the world over for sports. The military is no different. We're going to show that even military men will still have very good sportsmen that will bring laurels.
I've been elected for 4 years by the entire chief delegates, the 30 countries that attended the General Assembly. That's an indication the confidence they have for Nigeria and in me also. And I'll definitely not let them down. And I have the support and the courage and motivation from my chief delegate to my chief of defense staff. So I thank all the chief delegate and especially my chief of delegation. They give me all the courage and support. And he campaigned for me to win the election. I have won the election for the next 4 years to come.
Historical in the sense that for the first time in Nigeria, in occupying the headship of this wonderful organization, for the first time, the weight of the defense headquarters was behind its re-election. For the first time, election held in Nigeria unopposed, because we understood the power inherent in sport diplomacy. You all are witness that 30 nations visited Nigeria. This is very huge. At this particular time, they are coming to Nigeria, is changing the narrative about the security in Nigeria. I also say that the African Military Games that is coming in November, we are expecting about 3,000 athletes and officials. So for us in the armed forces of Nigeria, this is huge. Aside from the force multiplier economically, it's also a plus for us because people are coming to our nations to interact with our people. When they finish and go back to their country, they will be, the projector of what they have seen in Nigeria.
The African Military Games is scheduled for Abuja, Nigeria in 2024, which is expected to welcome about 500 athletes from 40 African countries. Olayemi Eson for Spy TV.